Hi friends, Walking by Faith here. I'm currently in Bismarck, North Dakota, and I know I look very hot because it is blistering hot out here. It's in the 90, probably at 90 at least. So I just want to make a quick post to let you know that the Bible tells us that we are to have nothing to do with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them, right? So I wanted to let you know you're going to start seeing quite a few posts on my channel exposing the legal system for what it is. Because I love the law, and the law is good. Common law is what applies to living men and women. The legal system is the undoing of God's law, and that is what it is by definition according to their own dictionary, which is, by the way, called Black's Law Dictionary. So, and what we have here in the United States of America is we have a government system that failed clear back in 1999. They went bankrupt for the third time in less than 100 years, so they cannot be a government again. So what they did, instead of telling the people, they became the U.S. government, Inc. They incorporated. The Supreme Court has ruled, since governments decided to incorporate, they fall under the same responsibilities and rules as any other business. And one of the great maxims of law is that fraud vitiates all contracts expressed and implied. Keep that in the back of your mind to weigh in on any crime that they're committing on paper, because they have not given full disclosure. Elements of there are 8 elements in a contract if you're going to do a business with a business. And by the way, we the people have the right to unlimited contract with whomever we wish. And we also have the right to rescind our contracts with anyone that we wish at any time if the arrangement no longer benefits us or causes us undue harm or duress. Now, of course, they don't want you to know that, and they didn't teach us this in schools because, well, Rockefeller made it very clear 50 years ago, I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers. So they enslaved the children of the Most High. That is precisely what they did. And they set us into systems that are literal slave systems. And they do not teach us anything except how to be imprisoned. It is unnatural and ungodly to put a little child in a room and make them sit at a table for hours on end. And it's even more ungodly to do the same thing to a little child and add to it, teaching them about pornography and pedophilia. So if those of you that are listening to me right now are not aware that the government incorporated, the U.S. government, Inc., is the largest human trafficker on the planet for pedophilia, human trafficking, organ harvesting, all manner of evil. It's documented. There's not been one righteous war, not one. Every one of these presidents that go into other countries under the guise of protecting the land of the United States of America is nothing but a lie. They go in there to rob, to rape, to kill, steal, and destroy. So we are now in a full-blown police state because they're not going to admit that they're not a government. They're not going to admit that, like, say, for instance, the current president of the U.S. is a president, in fact, only of a business, United States Government Incorporated. He is Oh, and incorporated means a corporation is a corpse. You have to, the etymology of the words, you have to break the words up. What is a corporation? Here it is. Break it down. It's a corpse or ating. They are a corpse that is speaking. The dead are speaking. It is literally a satanic ceremony right in your face. There you go. So there's lesson number one. That's why I am going to begin making more posts about the legal system versus the law, so that people will know what their rights are. Although I'm going to say this, it is far too late to bring them in check, because they are fully weaponized and demonized against we the people. Because the United States of America is the land and soil of we the people. The United States Government, Inc. is the for-profit prison system that is no longer a legitimate government. They switched hats, but they didn't tell you, which makes it fraud, because none of the elements of any contract have been even nearly attempted to be fulfilled at all. It's all deceit. It's all rule by deception, fraud, coercion, threat, duress. And because their enforcers are now policy enforcers and not law enforcers, they have no oaths and no bonds, and they're armed. So anytime they pull you over on the road, or anytime they arrest you for when there's no harm, there's no crime. That's the end of the subject. If there's no harm, there's no crime. And they have no right to lay any hands on you. But they are, because they're making money. It's called human slavery, paper slavery. It's called peonage. You look that up. Every time they pull you over for nothing and they get your name, they also get to go into the U.S. Treasury and take thousands of dollars, even if it's just a Terry stop. They make nothing but money. So the love of money is the root of all evil. That's right, friends. So there's a little sample for you. If you don't want to see these, you simply want to see my updates on walking by faith, then by all means, just skip over these. But I want you to know, I started this channel 5 years ago when the world changed, and it was called Red Tape Read Walter, because I was exposing corruption in the government and studying the law at the same time. And so when the Lord called me to start walking by faith, literally leaving everything that I knew and start walking on the streets and witnessing to people, I changed my channel, added a title to it, which is Walking by Faith. So now it appears that because of the times that we're in, and because I've been targeted in several of the cities I've been in, I have been targeted by policy enforcers, because when you walk on the streets with, say, a bag on wheels like I've got here, they immediately identify you as homeless, and they want to get you involved in their prison for-profit system, because they think nobody cares about you and nobody's watching out for you. So they will cite you and arrest you for literally nothing, because the moment they place you in the police car, they start the clock begins on their thousands and thousands of dollars that they get to earn for the city government, which is a for-profit incorporated now. And they begin to start making money on you immediately. And so, the Bible says, woe to those who make unjust laws so they can rob the poor and the needy and the widow's houses. See, God is going to bring judgment. He says, woe to the scribes and Pharisees. You can read in the New Testament all of the different things underneath those statements by him, that they're the ones that were writing the unjust laws then. They're still doing it now. They're still doing it now. Nothing has changed. It's just gotten worse. And they make the bond paper, the birth certificate, they make their little handcuffs on birth certificate paper so it goes down a little sweeter and you think you're free. But when you realize your birth certificate, the minute you come into this realm, you are pricked in the heel. They take your blood, just like Jesus said they would. He'll prick your heel and you'll crush his head. That's right. They prick your heel at the doctor, the dock, under the maritime law, which is not applied to living men and women. But that's the system they convert you to. It's called unlawful conversion, among many other things. So anyway, I'm going to stop there because this is a long post. And blessings and peace to all the saints.